Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we dive deep into the financial secrets of big companies, and sometimes these secrets are more like public announcements, so buckle up. Because today we've got a rather straightforward announcement from Lava Therapeutics NV. Before we dive in, if you like cutting through the corporate jargon to get to the real nitty-gritty of company performance, consider subscribing. We also have a fantastic Discord community linked in the description where we break down these filings even further. So join us there. Alright, so what's the big news from Lava Therapeutics NV? Well, it looks like the company is officially saying goodbye to its public listing on the Nasdaq. This isn't some surprise twist, it's the culmination of a deal that's been in the works. Essentially, a buyer called Soma Royalty Corporation has bought up all the company's shares. This means Lava Therapeutics NV is now owned by Soma Royalty Corporation and is no longer an independent publicly traded company. Think of it like a big company buying out a smaller one. This is a pretty big deal because it means a change in ownership and likely a change in how the company operates day to day. Let's talk about how this deal went down. The initial deal was struck back in August and then an amendment was made in October. The offer to buy the shares was sweetened with a cash amount and something called a contingent value, right, or CVR. This CVR basically means shareholders might get more money in the future depending on certain events. The deal was set to close by the 12th of November, and it looks like it did. On the 12th of November, the offer expired and a whopping 87% of the company's shares were tendered. That means most shareholders agreed to sell their shares under the terms of the offer. The buyer accepted all those shares and paid for them on the 13th of November. So the acquisition or this change of control is now official. And because of this big sale, Lava Therapeutics NV is planning to delist its shares from the Nasdaq stock market. So what does this delisting mean for investors? Well, it means that if you hold shares of Lava Therapeutics NV, they will no longer be traded on the Nasdaq exchange. The company has formally notified Nasdaq of its intention to voluntarily delist. This usually happens after a company has been acquired or is being taken private. This section pretty much confirms what we've been talking about. Because of the purchase agreement and the closing of the deal, a change of control has happened. Lava Therapeutics NV is now a majority-owned subsidiary of the Buyer Royalty Corporation. This is the core outcome of the entire filing. With this change in ownership, there is also a shake-up in the company's leadership. Several directors have stepped down from Lava Therapeutics NV's board. This is pretty common in acquisition scenarios, as the new owners often bring in their own people. However, two directors, Kapil Dengra and Karen J. Wilson, will remain on the board. And to fill the gaps, new directors have been appointed. Owen Hughes, Thomas Burns, Bradley Sitko, and Maricel Montano are now on the board. This signals the new direction and control that Soma Royalty Corporation intends to exert over Lava Therapeutics NV. These appointments are important because they represent the new leadership team that will guide the company going forward under its new ownership. The filing also mentions a press release from the 13th of November, which we can assume contains more details about this whole transition. It's basically the official public announcement of everything we've just discussed. Now, looking at the overall picture here, this filing is essentially a confirmation of an acquisition. It's not a deep dive into Lava's financials or future strategy as an independent entity, because that chapter is closing. The story here is the successful acquisition of Lava Therapeutics NV by Soma Royalty Corporation. For investors who held Lava shares, this means they would have received the offer consideration cash and potentially that contingent value, right? The delisting from Nasdaq is the final step in this transition. It's important to remember that the company is now under new management and its future performance will be viewed through the lens of Soma Royalty Corporation's strategy. The fact that a significant majority of shareholders accepted the offer suggests that the price and terms offered were deemed fair by the market. This is a clean exit for Lava as an independent company and sets the stage for its integration into Soma Royalty Corporation. We will be watching closely to see how this plays out for Soma Royalty Corporation. Alright, that is our breakdown of Lava Therapeutics NV's latest filing. What is your take on this acquisition and what does it mean for the future of these companies? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.